Afena Fiifi Kwetey, the General Secretary of the NDC, Wababe Kasa Ediafa Ayawaso East by election na ekoso. Ene nsemu esisi wo hono nyina na bombs a watoto die nya asem ketwa. Aha ACBD TV. Ene your first time a wuhia ya. Yesro se subscribe ma ye. Uye so anu emye notification bell no said be ya yedi video bia to a obeti na wa ba behwe. Na yentie time a omukọ Ayawaso East by election no yetinsem bebre ekoso. Ene in fact bribery ekoso. Eye TV echicha ye motorbike echicha ekosu ya dai papad emo anwo eniema ye chicha de bebre kwa. And watching 2 days and son or more to abano. In himself minority, our more parliament, could donate 100,000. Edema MP now would near Hajia Adam, I know one of the aspirants. Omoko and could donate Sikanomano in the name of the majority in the phone na Fiifi Kwetey so person say. No cry was a minimum. A nipa kakra bi and almost sorry ye and almost orchestrated and the weather is also orchestrated. Almost orchestrated ye at this animano, a coy. Our can't say ye majority phone in a day, but was he and Tessa. Na Mahama Yaraganga Saprabu, no new Hoshi. Yes, I miss Andy Bills a papa. One got some near some support no more the mamma meno. What the man on say Baba Jama or your troublesome did was it there be. Ye fire support be a mama ameno. Ye dear near so many now one to abano. Ye dear support man and I'm no request saying I am an virtual vetting. Crown so yamano. A simple brave, I can't we say me but to Jinaso. Let's see no, a cucusina, but since some Ankaza no account.
You know if the executive is taking your recommendations to remove those who are on boards?
Actually, I think it shouldn't be a problem because the president has been duly informed, and so I think that process shouldn't be a difficult process at all.
I see. Away from voter inducement, another issue that characterized the exercise is that there was the perception that there was, or Hadi Amina McNaza was the establishment candidate. Did the NDC have her as a candidate of choice?
That's the first time I'm hearing that, because I can tell you that if she were the establishment candidate, then when she made a request to us that we should allow her to have a virtual vetting, would have granted her. We told her plainly that it's not happening, that she has to appear like everybody. We are not going to grant an exemption. So as a party, you can clearly see that no favorites. So I'm surprised to hear. I've heard a bit of that establishment candidate. I don't know where that thing is coming from.
Well,
individuals could have their preferences, and that's okay. I mean, you can have different people. Somebody might want Jamal, another person may not want Jamal. Somebody may want her, somebody may want her. So different people will have that. I don't. As far as NDC leadership is concerned, I didn't think of anyone having any clear advantage at all.
I mean, the perception is that Baba Jamal, politically speaking, has been problematic for the NDC from his days in Akwetia, back in Ayawaso East, and then today. And so you preferred a less problematic candidate for Ayawaso East, given the backdrop also that the majority leadership decided to go and donate to Hadi Amina. And so it gave the impression that she was the clear favorite.
I'm not sure about the majority leadership as a whole. I think individuals, and those individuals, I'm sure, portrayed that they were representing a majority as a whole. I mean, that's as I told you. People have their preferences, so sometimes they can try and skew their preferences to appear as if it belongs to they represented the whole. Because, for example, speaking to some of the key leaders, like for example the majority leader, the chief whip, they clearly didn't even know anything about this particular donation. So obviously that donation must have been orchestrated by a few individuals who clearly created an impression that they were representing the whole majority. I don't think that was the case. But I mean, she lost her husband, so you have people who naturally will have that kind of sympathy. But as I told you, at party level, there was no such. We took our decision purely based on what ought to be. She requested for a virtual vetting. We told her, no, it's not happening. Appear. Because if you give a virtual vetting, are you going to have a virtual campaign when MPP and you are running? So we say, no way, it's not happening. So that tells you that as far as you're concerned, no favoritism, no.
In what ways did Ayawaso East test the NDC?
As I told you, it gave us an opportunity to deal with a problem that many of us have been trying to find a solution to a long time ago. I can tell you that I never understood why we moved away from that broader, should I call it, that broader, much more universal delegacy. I never understood it. I totally disagreed, with the party, succumbing to the pressure. If I'm happy, my predecessor, Fiifi Kwetey, Gina Mosquito, also was pretty much interested in making sure that expanded system continue. He was in a minority, so other people, overruled, and so therefore we had to cave in. So this is a beautiful opportunity that has been granted not just to the NDC, but to be able to send a clear message to the rest of Ghana. The NDC is really in the process of changing things that can help us to do it better.
If the party was scoring itself on the organization of that contest, what would you score?
What you mean, the contest in what way?
The organization of the primary.
The contest itself was very well done. If you check, it's one of the best primaries we've ever had. Very peaceful. There was no incident. But if you're talking in terms of the inappropriate conduct, well, I would like to score it differently, because it's the same thing that has been happening for ages. And I'm never one that is a hypocrite at all. I have seen it done across different levels. So I don't see why I should come and say that what's happening now is particularly different from what has happened in so many other places. So I would say that the conduct itself has been well done. The party organized it very well. Individuals did exactly what different individuals at different levels of the party and other parties have done, which we must condemn and try to move away from.
Very recently, you made announcement of some changes to be seen. One of those which many found controversial was what you felt or what you explained, that people should not have executive or administrative roles and then still have roles in the party. What is the thinking behind that?
All right. First and foremost, let's make it clear. These are decisions that have been taken by the National Executive Committee of the party. So it's a collective decision. Often, when you're as General Secretary, you speak to this issue, people tend to think that it is your individual position, which is not the case at all. I'm speaking on behalf of the party as a whole. So that's the first one. Two, I would say this is not even a new thing at all. This actually is something that the party, over the years, we evolve out from. We started this party initially with people holding both positions in government and at the same time holding party positions. I can give you examples. For example, late E.T. Mensah was Minister for Youth. At the same time, he was what's the name? Youth organizer of the NDC. Was holding those two positions at the same time. A time came when the party felt, especially when we lost power in the year 2000, the thinking was that no, we are in opposition now. You can't, people should not be allowed anymore to be encumbering more than one position. So a time came when the party said, for example, that if you were a member of parliament, you should not be allowed to be holding party position at the same time, okay? In fact, on the back of that, I tell you that in a previous contest that had to do with my own good friend and brother, Harun Idrisu, who was then MP, at the same time was trying to continue to hold his position as a youth organizer. Some of us took that principal position to vote against him because we felt that was not right. Allow somebody else who is not holding an MP position to run to become a youth organizer. So I'm telling you that evolution has been on for quite a bit. So what is happening now is simply institutionalizing the thinking that has been there for a long time. Now what we are saying is simple, that if you're holding a position, especially a position as a minister, a deputy minister, a position as a CEO, a deputy CEO, a position as a district chief executive or metropolitan municipal chief executive, you are in a position that gives you vast opportunity. First of all, they are positions that are very, should I call it, very engaging, but the very they are time consuming. You need to focus completely. So you obviously are not going to be having time to be able to manage party work as well. It's going to be difficult. I can tell you, for example, when I was in charge of communication of the party when we won power the last time in 2009, and I became deputy finance minister. I couldn't have 1 minute to leave my job in the finance ministry to attend a party meeting. I couldn't have a meeting to go and do communication on behalf of the party. So automatically, that job devolved on others who were still at the party level, who had to continue that. So this really should not be a difficulty at all. I mean, so I find it difficult to appreciate why anyone even thought this is a problem. Because I've been in that position, I never once thought it was a problem. Because and my colleagues who were with me at the same time, Visa Friankra, who was then Deputy General Secretary, who became Deputy Local Government Minister, never had a problem with it, never bothered. Harun Idriso, who was youth organizer, and then moved to become a communication minister at the time, never had a problem. He continued his work. So I don't understand why this current generation will have any problem at all with it. That's why I say, listen, that's why the party decided that, listen, if you still insist that you're holding a position either as a CEO, as a minister or deputy, and you want to still contest for a party office, then resign from your position 6 months before an election in order to come and concentrate fully on the party and then have your work.
I mean, but there are there are those who would say that I can serve the nation and still serve the party at the same time.
Even the country has come to realize that you cannot more be allowed to be a member of parliament at the same time a minister in government. Even the country has come to accept that. That's what the constitutional review has come to. So it tells you that clearly that even is not very easy to be done. So why would anybody convince anybody that you can do both? I can see, for example, what has happened over the last 1 year since we've been in government. Those who are very busy in their various departments have not had time to continue party, and we can understand why.
Is that impacting party administration?
Absolutely, they simply don't have the time. They are busy. So naturally, they don't have the time. If the party is having a meeting, they can't. I mean, they don't have the time. Others will have to do it. So these are things that are simply, should I call it, things that are very straightforward. So honestly, the reaction from some up to now, it baffles me. I don't understand it. And I think that in terms of the spirit of reset, the very fact that you're even protesting, for me, it just shows that you don't understand what this whole reset is about. Because this reset is simply about transforming the country. I mean, focusing on what needs to be focused on, allowing other people to do the job. It is a party that's got millions of supporters. This is a party that, God forbid, any of us who drop dead today, there are so many other people who will come and take our position and do an equally good job, if not a better job. So for any individuals to believe that we are indispensable, without us, the job can't get done. So therefore, we have to hold 1 and 2 positions at the same time. I use the word that amounted to greed, and some overreacted. I repeat it again, that's nothing but greed.